Good morning, friends. Hope you are doing well today. We're in the greenhouse to start. We need to do some potting up. I need to rejuvenate a house plant. And we have a couple of spider plant babies that have been sitting in water forming roots, and they need to be potted up. So we're going to get started in here today. And then I think we're going to move on to rejuvenating the herb Greenstalk. Those plants have been in there for 4 or 5 years, and occasionally I will replace one or two, but it's become the soil at this point is mostly just a big mass of roots. So it is time. It is time to pull all that out, put new plants in. It will make it way more productive and healthier. So that's the plan for today. First thing we're going to do is take this peace lily, trim off all the dead. In fact, this whole stalk right here is old and dead, and this is the new stalk. Trim it all off and repot it actually in this same plastic pot, because this goes in the house in this pot, which does not have a drain hole. So I have to keep it in another pot that I can then take out when I water it. So we'll get this guy potted up, and then we have two spider plant babies in here that have joined together at this point, but they've got a nice little root system. We're going to tease that apart, and they're each going to get their own terracotta pot. And I don't know if they'll go inside or if they'll stay out here in the greenhouse or if they'll go on the patio. Haven't decided yet, but that's what we're doing first. So I've got my potting tray set up with some soil. I need to mix in some fertilizer to it and get it moistened, and then we'll get started on getting these guys happy. Well, that was fast and easy. This looks so much better. So I got rid of the old stalk. There was one bit of green trying to come up, but the whole rest of it was dead. And I don't know, these days, the further I get in my gardening experience, the more I am cutthroat about about things where, it's time to rip the bed out, or it's time to throw this plant away, or it's not worth rehabbing, that kind of thing. So yeah, anyway, this looks so much better. Got rid of all the dead. There's one flower getting ready to start here. It's in new soil, so I think it's going to be so much happier. And then we just potted up our spider plants. It was quite a job to untease those roots, because I had them in such a tiny jar. they're in this jar. So they really grew together, but they'll be totally fine. So I think to help them out a little bit, I'm going to sit them under the grow lights for a little while. Now it's been getting up to 100 degrees, 40 degrees centigrade in here every day. But the stuff that's in here, like the zinnias, this is our next succession of zinnias. I mean, they look great. Like they're not at all suffering. They're under the grow lights. I make sure they have water every day because they're in soil blocks, so they dry out really quickly. They get fertilized once a week with fish emulsion. And in another probably 2 weeks, they'll be ready to go out to the farm. But they're not suffering even in the heat. So I'm sure that these spider plants, which are technically tropical plants, will do just fine out here. I want to give them some time under the grow lights, help them extend that root system, and then at some point we'll bring them back into the house. But I'm not in a rush to do that. I also don't even have a location for them in the house at this point. Okay, let me get my stuff together and we will start working on the Greenstalk. That's going to be quite a job. But the whole thing is in the shade right now. So a couple days ago, Mike took it apart for me and placed them all in the yard so that I could work on them individually. Because when you're really doing a massive soil change in a Greenstalk, it's way better to disassemble the whole thing and kind of start from scratch. It's really hard to work into those pockets if you're trying to replace a lot of soil and all that kind of stuff. So when it's assembled. So let's go take care of that. I'm looking forward to getting this thing all refreshed. Now I won't be able to put the tiers back on myself. I don't think, maybe a couple of the bottom ones, but they're very heavy, especially when they're wet. And I'm dealing with a nerve issue. My neuropathy is acting up on my left side. And so I've got pain from my hip all the way down to my foot. Yeah, it's not IT band or sciatica. I've had both of those in the past. This is literally a nerve problem. So yeah, I just have to deal with it. It lasts usually a couple weeks whenever it kicks up. It's a leftover from shingles. I just have repeat neuropathy that shows up, and I just have to deal with it till it goes away. So that started yesterday, and that just means I need to be more careful because it hurts. So if you see me moving funny, that is why. Okay, let's go get set up for that project. It's, like I said, in the shade, so I'm super excited. It's not going to be a hot day today. I think it's going to be maybe 80 degrees. But in the sun, doing that kind of work makes it harder. So I'll see you over there. Okay, so I think I've got everything that I need. These are the different tiers. Now this one has one English thyme in it that's good, and these sorrels, which we actually are eating on. So I only have 3 pockets in this one to fill, but I will pull the soil out of those pockets and put fresh soil in, and then I will put some fertilizer around the base of these plants here. And then over here, we've got parsley. Now I've cut this back, but I'm going to go ahead and remove the plants completely because we've been cutting on them for 4 years now, and they're getting, believe it or not, spindlier and spindlier. So I've got some replacements, and I do not have enough. I did not buy enough herbs this time to do 6 of everything around all the tiers, mostly because I don't use that much. It's a lot. So I'm going to be putting some flowers in those empty pockets. So we've got some really pretty petunias here. These are not a branded petunia, but I like this one. I just love. Anyway, I thought these would be really pretty. We'll just put, a single, they're 6 packs. We'll just put a single one in the pockets that don't have herbs, and it'll look nice. So we're going to do parsley in this one. This one had, I think, lemongrass and catmint, and yeah, no, it was not lemongrass, it was lemon balm. And that has really, so this particular one I'm going to have to empty all the soil out of. It is a solid mass of roots through here, and so that one's going to get completely emptied out. This still has the tier on it. When we took these apart, all of these tiers had tons of slugs on the bottom of them, but you can kind of see how the roots are spreading all through here, and that's just going to make it really, really hard to plant. So we're going to get a whole new thing of soil in there. Same with this one probably. I'll have to see once I start digging, but this had sages in it. So we have more sage, but you know, again, not every pocket's going to get that. And then this one was oregano. I do have more oregano, but again, you can see how like there's just roots throughout all this. And the plant just becomes less and less productive and more woody over time. So it's just time to replace. And then this one has some thyme here. I've got more thyme that I'll pop in. And this, I don't even remember what this is. There's a tag here, but it's kind of buried. It says coriandrum, but this is definitely not coriander. I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, it's got thyme with it too. This actually might be just kind of like a weed that popped in here, but you can see there's really low soil in here. We'll carve out some of these pockets, add additional soil. And then this one is just staying on the base because it's got a beautiful red vein sorrel that we're eating. And these chives that we've been harvesting on that I only just planted in like February or something. So this one is fine. We do have an empty pocket, but whatever. One thing I want to show you. Oh, my goodness. There's a little bird over there. Okay, I need to get out of the way. She's made a nest in that pocket. Hopefully there's some eggs in it. I will stay far away. We noticed the nest the other day when we were taking this apart, and I was worried that she wouldn't come back because these two green stalks were so close together that it was like a really sheltered spot in there. And I'm so glad that she's back on the nest. So I think what we're going to do is we will plant these up, but I'm not going to put the green stalk back together. I don't know. We'll time it. We'll time it for when she's away from the nest. I don't know if there's eggs in there yet. I don't want to go check because I don't want to disturb her. She was just sitting there. So I would like her to have her babies in that. It's a tiny little nest. I think she's a finch. Didn't get a really good look at her, but I startled her, so I feel bad. Anyway, I want to give her plenty of space. I don't want to disturb her nesting spot. So yeah, let's just get started on this project. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be nice to have it fresh because even though I harvest on these all the time, you know, they get more and more woody and it's just less, the plants look worse and worse over time. So it's just nice to start fresh. So the herbs that we have, we've got, I think I only got like 2 of everything. This is lemon thyme. So we've got 2 of those. This one, way too dry. I'm going to need to soak that. We've got some English thyme. We have Thai basil. We have lemon balm, catmint, and I use the lemon balm and the catmint for teas all the time. And some regular Genovese basil, and we've got our flat leaf parsley, which is my favorite kind of parsley. I don't really like the curly leaf. And then we've got some Italian oregano. So that should be plenty. Those are the herbs we actually use. You know, there are lots of other wonderful herbs out there, but these are the ones that we actually use. So that's why I'm going to plant them. I'm going to cut this way back because it's about to flower. And I don't want these herbs to flower because they will slow down in their leaf production. So. Project done, watered in. We're going to let these sit here for a while, mostly because I want them to drain a bit before Mike has to move them because they're extremely heavy, even when they're dry. But yeah, we've got our herbs in here with our beautiful pansies. Everything's looking really good. So over here we've got sorrel and English thyme and a single pansy. Here we've got a bunch of pansies with 2 flat leaf parsley. We've got all of our basils, so 2 Genovese and 2 Thai basil with some pansies. I'm sorry, I'm calling these pansies, it's petunias. And then here we've got 3 lemon balm and 3 catmint, which I need to cut back. And here we have 2 oregano and a bunch of petunias, saying it right this time. And then here we've got 1 French thyme, 2 lemon thyme, and the rest is petunias. Now, really quick, I don't know where she is. I hope she's out eating or something, but there are eggs down in there. So I kind of want to put these tiers back soon because that will shelter that area for her again. I want her to come back. I don't want those those eggs to go unhatched, and because I scared her. I don't want that to happen. I want her to raise her babies there. And if that means I can't water in that area, fine. I don't even care if all the strawberries die. I just want her to raise her babies there. Okay, that's gonna be it for me today, you guys. I have a lot of house cleaning to do. Amber's having friends over tonight to spend the night, and we need to clean some bathrooms and the kitchen and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm gonna get going on. But thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.